The Nile River, a shimmering ribbon of life cutting through the desert. Ancient Egyptians revered it as the giver of life, a benevolent deity. It was their lifeline, a source of sustenance and prosperity. Without the Nile, there would be no Egypt. The annual floods brought fertile silt, renewing the land and ensuring bountiful harvests. The river dictated the rhythm of life. It shaped their calendar, their agriculture, and their worldview. The Nile was their highway, their source of food, and their connection to the gods. From the moment they woke to the time they closed their eyes, the Egyptians lived in harmony with its ebb and flow. The Nile was more than just water, it was the very essence of Egypt. This sacred river with its predictable floods provided a sense of order and stability. It fostered a deep spiritual connection between the people and their environment. The Egyptians saw the Nile as a reflection of the cosmos, a microcosm of the universe itself. Its northern flow towards the Mediterranean mirrored the sun's journey across the sky, while the southern flow of the current represented the underworld. The Nile's influence was all-encompassing, shaping every facet of ancient Egyptian civilization. From the humblest farmer to the pharaoh himself, life revolved around the river. Its waters nourished their bodies, its floods dictated their harvests, and its spirit permeated their beliefs. Understanding the Nile is key to understanding the heart and soul of ancient Egypt. As the first rays of dawn kissed the horizon, Egypt stirred. The sky blazed with hues of orange, pink, and gold, reflecting on the tranquil surface of the Nile. The air, cool and fresh from the night, carried the scent of blooming lotus flowers and the earthy aroma of wet soil. Along the riverbank, the day began early, a symphony of activity greeting the sun god Ra. Families awoke in their mud-brick homes, their day dictated by the river's rhythm. Women, their heads covered with linen cloths, began their daily chores. They gathered water from the Nile in clay jars, the sound of their chatter mingling with the chirping of birds. Men prepared their tools, ready to tend to their fields or workshops. The day was young, full of promise and the potential for bounty. Children, their laughter echoing along the riverbank, chased each other through the reeds. Their playful shouts mingled with the lowing of cattle and the bleating of goats. The older children helped their parents, fetching water or tending to younger siblings. Life was simple, yet deeply intertwined with the natural world. The rising sun cast long shadows across the land, painting the familiar landscape with a golden hue. The Nile, a silver serpent in the morning light, flowed serenely northwards, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of those who lived along its banks. A new day had begun, a testament to the enduring cycle of life, death, and rebirth that mirrored the Nile's own ebb and flow. The fertile land flanking the Nile was the lifeblood of Egypt. Each year, the river's inundation deposited a fresh layer of nutrient-rich silt, making the soil incredibly fertile. Farmers, their skin tanned by the sun, worked tirelessly in the fields. They tilled the land with wooden plows, preparing it for planting. Men and women labored side by side, their movements honed by generations of tradition. They sowed seeds of barley, wheat, and flax, their hopes for a bountiful harvest planted alongside. The hot sun beat down on their backs as they worked, sweat mingling with the rich earth. Irrigation canals, dug with care and precision, carried the Nile's life-giving water to the furthest reaches of the fields. The sound of water splashing against the earthen banks was a constant melody, a reminder of the river's generosity. Children, their laughter echoing across the fields, chased away birds eager to feast on the newly sown seeds. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the farmers took a break from their labors. They sought shade under the few trees dotting the landscape, sharing a simple meal of bread, onions, and dates. Their laughter and conversation filled the air, a testament to their resilience and their deep connection to the land. Despite the hard work, there was a sense of satisfaction in their eyes, a deep understanding of their vital role in sustaining life along the Nile. The bustling marketplaces of ancient Egypt were vibrant hubs of activity. They were a feast for the senses, a symphony of sights, sounds, and smells. Located along the Nile's banks, these markets were accessible by boat, making trade and transport efficient. Merchants, their voices hoarse from hawking their wares, displayed a dazzling array of goods. Exotic spices from distant lands filled the air with intoxicating aromas. Freshly caught fish glistened silver in the sun, while plump dates and figs promised sweet indulgence. Linen garments, woven with intricate designs, hung alongside baskets overflowing with vegetables. The Nile's bounty was evident in the sheer variety and abundance on display. Bartering was the preferred mode of transaction. People haggled good-naturedly, their voices rising and falling in a rhythmic cadence. The clinking of metal, as buyers and sellers agreed on a fair price, was a constant refrain. Amidst the organized chaos, scribes meticulously recorded transactions, their reed pens scratching on papyrus scrolls. The marketplace was not just a place of commerce, it was a social hub, a place to exchange news and gossip. Friends and neighbors greeted each other warmly, their conversations punctuated by laughter and animated gestures. Musicians entertained the crowds with lively tunes played on flutes and lyres, their music adding to the vibrant tapestry of market life. The Nile's bounty, transformed into a vibrant marketplace, was a testament to the ingenuity and entrepreneurial spirit of the ancient Egyptians. For the ancient Egyptians, the Nile was more than just a source of water and sustenance. It was the lifeblood of their civilization, a sacred entity that held a central place in their cosmology and beliefs. The river's significance extended far beyond its physical presence, permeating every aspect of their daily lives and spiritual practices. The Nile was intrinsically linked to their cosmology and beliefs. It was seen as a divine gift, a conduit between the earthly and the celestial realms. The river's flow was thought to mirror the journey of the sun god Ra, who traveled across the sky by day and through the underworld by night. They saw the river as a reflection of the heavens, a tangible manifestation of the divine order. The Nile's waters were believed to mirror the celestial Nile that flowed through the underworld, connecting the living with the afterlife and ensuring the continuity of existence. Its waters mirroring the celestial Nile that flowed through the underworld. This celestial river was thought to be the source of all life, nourishing the souls of the deceased and guiding them on their journey to the afterlife. The physical Nile, therefore, was not just a river but a sacred pathway to the divine. The Nile's annual inundation, a time of both anxiety and anticipation, was seen as a gift from the gods, a symbol of renewal and rebirth. This natural phenomenon was crucial for agriculture, replenishing the soil with nutrient-rich silt and ensuring bountiful harvests. The inundation was celebrated with great reverence and joy, as it was believed to be a direct blessing from the gods. Festivals and rituals were held to honor the river and express gratitude for its life-giving waters. These celebrations were a testament to the deep connection between the Egyptians and the Nile. The Nile was home to a rich pantheon of deities, each associated with different aspects of the river and its life-giving properties. These gods and goddesses were revered and worshipped, their stories and symbols woven into the fabric of Egyptian culture. Each deity represented a unique facet of the river's power and benevolence. From the fertility of the land to the protection of its people, the gods of the Nile were integral to the Egyptians' understanding of their world and their place within it. Hapi, the god of the Nile's inundation, was depicted as a benevolent androgynous figure, symbolizing the river's fertility and ability to nourish the land. Hapi was often shown with a pot-belly and pendulous breasts, representing abundance and the nurturing qualities of the Nile. Sobek, the crocodile god, represented the Nile's power and unpredictability, a reminder of the river's potential for both creation and destruction. Sobek was often depicted with the head of a crocodile, embodying the fierce and untamed nature of the river. The Egyptians honored Sobek with rituals and offerings, seeking his protection and favor. These ceremonies were a way to acknowledge the dual nature of the Nile, both as a giver of life and a force to be respected and revered. Temples, dedicated to various gods and goddesses, dotted the Nile's banks, their towering pylons and majestic statues a testament to the Egyptians' deep reverence for the river and its divine inhabitants. These sacred structures were built to honor the gods and serve as places of worship and community gathering. The temples were adorned with intricate carvings and hieroglyphs, depicting scenes of divine interaction and cosmic order. The majestic statues and grand architecture reflected the Egyptians' devotion and their desire to connect with the divine through the sacred landscape of the Nile. These temples were not just places of worship, they were centers of learning, healing, and cultural expression. They housed libraries, schools, and medical facilities, serving as hubs of knowledge and innovation. The temples were repositories of wisdom, where priests and scholars studied the mysteries of the universe and the secrets of the gods. They were places where art, science, and spirituality converged, fostering a rich cultural heritage that has endured through the ages. Priests, The intermediaries between the human and divine realms performed daily rituals to honor the gods and ensure the Nile's continued benevolence. These rituals were elaborate and precise, designed to maintain the delicate balance between the earthly and the divine. The priests used a variety of ceremonial objects and artifacts in their rituals, each imbued with symbolic meaning and spiritual significance. These objects were believed to channel the divine energy and facilitate communication with the gods. The Egyptians' relationship with the Nile was one of profound respect and interdependence. They understood that their survival depended on the river's generosity, and they sought to honor it through their beliefs, rituals, and way of life. They understood that their survival depended on the river's generosity, and they sought to honor it through their beliefs, rituals, and way of life. The Nile was not just a physical entity, but a spiritual force that shaped their identity and destiny. The river influenced every aspect of their existence, from their agricultural practices to their religious ceremonies. It was a source of inspiration and a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. The Nile, the sacred artery of Egypt, flowed through the very heart of their civilization, shaping their worldview and connecting them to the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It was a symbol of continuity and resilience, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Egyptian people. Flowed through the very heart of their civilization, shaping their worldview and connecting them to the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The river's presence was a constant reminder of the divine order and the promise of renewal, shaping their worldview and connecting them to the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The Nile was more than just a river. It was a sacred passage to the divine, a source of life and a symbol of the eternal journey that defines the human experience.